It's important every now and then for us to offer you periodic financial updates, and today I want to talk to you about our 2026 operating budget. The operating budget takes care of all of our regular expenses, utilities, maintenance, all of our church programming and worship, and compensation for employees. And this year, the vestry's been spending for these regular expenses by authorizing a continuation of last year's budget, because we've not been able so far to identify income sufficient to support our regular expenses. Our operating income comes from a few sources: facility use fees from outside groups, cost sharing by the preschool, fundraising, one-time offerings, or what we might call plate income, and your pledges. Pledges account for about 80% of our operating income every year, and this year, we do not have sufficient pledges to allow us to pass a budget. So I'm here today to talk to you. Many of you, this year 126 of you, pledge faithfully and substantially year after year. Some of you are brand new, and perhaps pledging feels like more commitment than you're ready to take on at this moment. But I'm here primarily to talk to those of you who have found a home at St. Paul's, and yet you're not pledging. The principal difference between giving by putting cash or a check in the plate when you're here and making and fulfilling a pledge is that there's no way for us to predict or project what our plate income will be. A pledge, on the other hand, allows you to participate in the health of this parish and allows us to plan our income over the year. I don't want anyone to be alarmed. Overall, the parish is in a state of good health, including our financial health. But this year, our operating income, as currently projected, is not adequate for our expenses, well beyond any deficit we are comfortable approving. Therefore, we're looking at several ways to reduce our expenses. First, it's our practice to set aside about $2,000 a month into a fund that accumulates to cover capital expenses that come up, like paving the parking lot or fixing the roof. This year, we will not be contributing to that fund. Secondly, each year, our Buildings and Grounds Committee recommends a program of ongoing maintenance, and this year, we're looking to reduce that portion of the budget so it will only cover contracted maintenance plus a small amount for emergency items. Thirdly, our largest expense is our staff and benefits. I want to clarify some possible misconceptions about staff. This year, Norma has come on board, and her compensation in this transitional year is covered by your gifts to our Focus on the Future campaign, so it doesn't come out of our operating budget. Philip came to us bringing along the extraordinary gift of a grant provided by Trinity Wall Street and administered through his seminary, which has covered his compensation and benefits since he started. And that grant will be completed at the end of June. Neither Norma nor Philip's compensation is at issue right now. You should also be aware that our extraordinary music program is largely funded by specific gifts to the program. The budget handles only compensation for staff and additional musicians hired for feast days, but most of what you experience week by week is completely underwritten. Amy, our parish administrator, has undertaken a thorough review of our suppliers for things like office supplies and paper goods, and she's made some significant changes that are going to save us money this year. And we're also looking to consolidate that purchasing with the preschool so we can have access to better bulk purchasing rates. And still, we find ourselves underfunded this year, and your pledges are the income category that's not keeping up. So I'm asking you, if St. Paul's is your church, please consider a pledge of financial support. This means telling us what you plan to give and then fulfilling that pledge. Forms are available as a link on our website, or you can pick one up when you're at church. Of course, if you're pledging already and you're able to consider an increase in your pledge, that is welcome and helpful. I ask this knowing that all of us are dealing with increased expenses for basics like food and gasoline. Most of all, I want you to remember that we are healthy. We continue to welcome new people all the time. Our outreach programs are vibrant. Our educational offerings are well attended. The program started by the Strategic Planning Group is working the way it's supposed to over the next few years. By every mark of health, we are in good shape for the long term. And wise parishioners have created a legacy giving program designed to offer a place for your estate gifts to ensure our health for years to come. This year is anomalous, but we can't just okay a budget that's so far out of whack. We need your commitment and your participation in the financial health of this year's operations. Thank you, and bless you for all that you do and for being the warm and welcoming community that you are. Let's do this.